Hello, welcome to Looking Behind the Mirror, where we explore narcissism and take our lives back as we make sense out of nonsense. As a quick disclaimer, I'm not a professional. Everything I say is based on my opinions and my personal experiences. If you are in crisis, please seek professional help. I will provide links below. In today's video, I'm going to talk about whether or not a narcissist misses you when you're gone. This can be a really painful area to explore because no matter how we look at it, the narcissist doesn't miss us in the way that we would hope that they would. And although sometimes we may venture off into a vengeful realm, hoping that they're suffering so much without us, really, I think deep down it's so painful to realize that this person that you invested so much time and energy and love into really looks at you as a disposable commodity. It would be nice if we could at least think that they're missing us somehow in some way. So I think that's why we ask this question: does a narcissist miss us? I'm here to explore the truth. I'm here to help shine a light on the things that I think that you already know. I know more than anyone how excruciatingly painful this reality can be, but I want to explore it and explain in what ways the narcissist does miss you and in what ways the narcissist does not. The narcissist had you around for a reason. There are things that the narcissist misses about you or could possibly miss about you. A narcissist looks at people in his or her life as extensions, as objects. So it's very similar to if you had a favorite television set that you watched for years and suddenly it broke. Your television set's gone. Yes, you're going to miss the television set, but as soon as you get a new one, you're not really going to miss the old television set. You're not even going to think about it, really. You might even forget it ever existed. The comparison between a human being and a television set might seem slightly horrifying, especially when we're talking about someone that was so important to you, but it's not far off. The television set served the purpose of entertainment, right? What purposes did you serve to the narcissist? You were supply, as they call it, or validation. You were the person that the narcissist kept around to make him or herself feel important, feel admired, or possibly feared. Whatever trait it was that made the narcissist feel important, that empowered the narcissist's ego, you were providing that in some way. And so when that supply is suddenly cut off, they are going to miss you because they're going to miss what you did for them. They don't miss you as a human being because they never really knew you. Narcissists don't form emotional bonds with people in the way that most people do. They don't really understand the depth of what a human being is. They only know what your uses are. Human beings have uses, and when you no longer serve a use, you're no longer useful, you're worthless to them. One thing that may be a little comforting is that it's not personal. Nothing with a narcissist is ever personal. The hatred, the vitriol, the vengefulness, as personal as it may seem when they come after you and try to ruin your life, it's not personal. And neither was the love bombing or all the great things that you did together. None of it was ever personal. Nothing with a narcissist is ever personal because narcissists only think about themselves. That's what narcissism is. Now, one way that you may create the illusion that a narcissist misses you is by ignoring them. This is called no contact. I strongly recommend no contact when it's possible. Absolutely, just for the sake of your own sanity. Even one word in a text message is an invitation for gaslighting and scrambling of your brain cells. You do not need to communicate with this person in any way because no communication will ever lead to any kind of closure or resolution or clarity. All communications will be used to manipulate you, confuse you, and gaslight you. If you can cut off all communication, do it. So I just want to clarify that no contact is for the sake of your sanity. It is not to try to invoke any kind of reaction from the narcissist. If you do no contact as some kind of manipulation strategy from your side, it will backfire on you, I promise. But the narcissist will probably start to show signs of missing you when you go no contact, unless he or she has already moved on to someone else that is now showering them with attention and admiration or whatever it is that they want. But if the relationship ended suddenly and you went no contact suddenly and they don't have anybody that's right by their side paying attention to every little thing they do, that is going to drive them crazy, and they are going to miss you. They're not going to miss you as a human being. They're going to miss what you did for them. And it's also going to be a huge insult to their ego that someone that used to hang on their every word is now refusing to even answer a text message. This will bother them much more than it would a normal person. And before I go too far into this might not happen at all. You may never hear another word from them. Like I said, if they've already moved on and found someone else to validate them, they might just completely forget you exist, just like that. And I'm sorry if that's what happens, but you're really better off if that's what happens to you, as much as it hurts. Now, if that's not the case, and they are harassing you, texting you, calling you, emailing you, trying to get your attention, and you're ignoring them completely, let me talk about what's happening inside of them. Deep down, they know why the relationship ended. They know that it was because of their behavior. And they're going to be in this constant state of trying to convince themselves, not you, but themselves, that it's all your fault. Because they have to be blameless. They have to see themselves as perfect and flawless. And if they actually destroyed a perfectly good relationship for no reason, how much more imperfect can you get? They can't stand for that. They have to frame it in a way that makes it all your fault. And so if you're not even responding to their communication attempts, you're really going to throw them for a loop, because in order to convince themselves that it's all your fault, it really, really helps them out if they can convince you of it. Because if you can admit that it's all your fault, that makes it all the more easy for them to believe it themselves. So this might make it look like they miss you. You know, if someone's calling you and texting you and emailing you and knocking on your door and sending you flowers and driving by your work, it seems like, gosh, he or she must really miss me. No, they need something from you. They weren't done with you yet. The kind of missing that you might hope that they're feeling, don't fall for this. What they're really saying in these communications you might be getting from them is usually, I am so sorry for all of the horrible things you did. Or maybe they're saying, please give me another chance for you to not be so terrible. Does that ring a bell? When they apologize, they're usually not ever really apologizing for what they did. They usually don't get specific. They usually just say, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Why are you so awful? I'm so sorry that you're so awful. Here's some flowers, here's a puppy. You're going to be in a vulnerable state because you're in pain, and it's excruciating, as I said, to realize that this person that you cared so much about looks at you as disposable. So when they start saying all these things, even saying I'm sorry, even being nicer to you, maybe even giving you what seems like a meaningful apology, they're finally saying all these things that you've wanted to hear. If you give in, I promise you that what you're giving into is only for the sake of their ego. They do not care about the relationship. They do not care about how much you hurt. They do not care about the things that you want. They are not finally seeing the light. They just need you to validate their ego. They need you to agree with them that yes, it is all your fault. Or if you're the one that ended the relationship, remember, it's all about their ego. They might want to just get back together with you to show themselves, yes, I do still have it. She or he still just can't resist me. Okay, now I'm going to dump him or her. Okay, yes, a narcissist might actually convince you to re-engage in a relationship just so that they can end it. They absolutely will do that. Remember, it's all about their ego. They miss the way you made them feel about themselves. They don't miss you. They need to be right. They need to win. They need to feel desired, admired, and flawless. And if the relationship ended in a way that contradicts any of those ideas, they will engage in behaviors, or they might engage in behaviors that make it seem as if they miss you, because they know that that's what you need to see. They know that you're vulnerable to that, and that if they put on a show and say and do all these things that are going to ease that pain that you're feeling, they have a pretty good shot at getting what they want out of you. It's really important to hang on to reality through this. This can be a really, really difficult stage to get through. It's really important to remember what this person was actually like when you were with them. It's really important to remember that it took the relationship ending for them to, quote, listen to you, finally. They're not listening to you, they're manipulating you. If it takes you leaving a relationship in order for somebody to just listen to you or to give a damn about anything you've ever said or wanted, that's not anything genuine, and it's not really anything worth going back to, in my opinion. People that really love you and care about the relationship should just want to listen to you when you're upset, or when you would like something, or when you would need to be listened to, just because they love you, just because they care about how you feel. You shouldn't have to end the relationship to get their attention. Remember that while this person might be sweet talking you, love bombing you, trying to win you back, that at the same time, they are very likely going behind your back and telling their friends and family all kinds of lies or exaggerations or extremely personal things to them that are none of their business. Narcissists do not respect you. They do not respect the relationship, and it's very likely that while you're starting to fall for this feeling of, oh, we have something special, and oh, maybe it can work out after all, and it's me and him, or me and her, and I really still love this person, and maybe there's a chance. At the very same time that you're feeling these things and hoping for these things, this person might be going behind your back and complaining about you to close family members, to your friends. They might be saying things that are extremely personal and none of anyone else's business. This person is in a constant state of betraying you for the sake of their own ego. Again, it's all about their ego. If nothing else in this video, I just want to get the point across that it doesn't matter if a narcissist misses you or not, because a pathological narcissist does not and will not miss you in any way that it is important. It doesn't matter, because even if they did miss you, even if they did love and care and pine over you for months, even if they did, it doesn't matter, because if you were to go back to this person or re-engage with this person or start thinking toxic and hopeful thoughts, you are just going to get sucked right back into the abuse and the gaslighting and the manipulation. You're going to end up again with someone who just doesn't care about you. Someone whose ego comes first and everything else comes last, or not at all. When we are in these states of mind where we're vulnerable to narcissistic individuals, when we've been in this kind of state of mind all of our lives, it's easy not to recognize that there are good people in this world that will just care, that will miss you if something were to happen to you, that will listen, that you don't have to go through these extreme actions in order just to have the simplest thing matter to this person. You can find someone that respects you. You can find someone that doesn't force you to live in fear. You can find someone with whom you don't have to beg and plead for the slightest bit of attention. Some people just want to treat you well. Some people just care about how you feel. Some people just think that you matter, and you don't have to do any acrobats. You don't have to bend over backwards or earn it. Some people are just gonna love you and care about you because you're you. And you don't have to go through all of this. You don't have to jump through hoops. You don't have to sit there at night and wonder, does he miss me? Does he care? Does she feel bad about all those things that she did? Does she really mean it this time? You don't have to do that. You don't have to have those kinds of people in your life at all. I know it's hard to let go. I know, and it might take a lot of time, but if you just keep reminding yourself of these things and you just hold on to reality, I promise you that over time you will begin to really realize that you don't need this in your life. You don't need these kind of people. You can find people that really care about you and people that really would miss you and people that really would be willing to put some effort into the relationship in order for both of you to be happy. I hope this helps. If you like this material, please give me a like, a comment, and/or a subscribe. It helps me to grow my channel so that I can keep making these kinds of videos for you. Until next time, thanks, bye.